no, you're good. Today
like?
we are going to learn how to help a mother give birth. So, what we're going to do is kind of go over things you already learned in lecture. What? Oh, there's a handout over there if you want one. We're going to go over some things that aren't on the handout too, but it's a good thing to like follow. So we're going to go over some things you've learned in class, and then we'll kind of come up here in pairs and like time permitting, we'll kind of run through it. It's not a skill you get tested on, but it's still something like you need to know. So first of all, what are the 3 stages of labor? So the first one, what kind of starts and ends that?
Contractions?
Yep, so onset of contractions, and it goes until the cervix is fully dilated, which is how big?
10 centimeters.
Good, good. So in this stage, the water might break, and then the mucus plug also comes out too. And then, yeah, it keeps going until the mom is fully dilated, and then we go into the second stage, which is what?
Delivery?
Yeah, yep. And then, so that kind of is self-explanatory. What is the third stage? Yeah, yep.
What is it?
Delivery of the placenta.
Is that also post-delivery care technically?
That's what this red.
Yeah, that's not on the handout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, so then how long can it take to deliver the placenta?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30?
Any
Yes.
longer?
Oh,
Or
wow.
do you need to get a doctor to get it out?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. And then we'll kind of go over like details about the delivery of the placenta as we actually like go through this.
Is there a term for that, or is it just delivery of placenta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when the placenta comes out, like is it? I don't know. What does it look like, or what is it? I mean, is it just like?
It's
And then
like-
it takes 30 minutes. Is it just like a sack of stuff?
It doesn't always take 30 minutes. It
Okay.
just can take
Up
up
to
to.
30 minutes.
Yeah, usually it takes like a couple more contractions because like after baby's born, the body's
It's
still
almost
contracting.
Get this stuff out.
Yeah, and
okay.
it's just a big
These are just
like,
nuts.
mess.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like solids, liquids, just like.
When she was
Both.
on-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll go over like what to do when that happens.
Okay.
So yeah.
I was going to text her, asked if we
So
could
like
do it
let's
today.
say you have a patient who is like 40 weeks along and you're doing an assessment. So what are some things you want to ask or look for?
History.
Sorry.
Oh god. Sorry.
History of other births.
Yes, so like is this her first kid? Is this like her 8th kid? And then also if you don't have somebody who's like 40 weeks along, just in general with any pregnant woman, ask that, like how many pregnancies have you had and then how many births, because like let's say she's had 5 pregnancies but only 1 live birth. That tells you like she might be prone to miscarriages or something like that. So always ask that. And then what are some other things that you can ask? Yeah, like how far along you are. Good.
Did you kind of do like a semi-sample thing where you just get general information?
Yeah.
Past medical history?
Yeah, you can. Like prenatal care, stuff like that. You can also ask about contractions. Yeah, so like how far apart they are and stuff like that. Pretty eminent signs are like if they're only like a minute apart and they last 30 seconds, then get ready. Yeah. And then when you're physically assessing her, what are you looking for?
The water being broken?
Yeah. Yep. There's other things. Yep. Crowning or like the bulging. So I kind of tried to set this up to have both. It's kind of a little bit.
The bulging of the rectum, you mean, or the?
Yeah, it's
or
a
the-
perineum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you've gone through all that, and so like I said, like you don't really get tested on this like with National Registry. So I kind of made up a sort of like process. So I mean, you want to do your BSI. Squads have OB kits in them, so make sure you have your gloves. They'll have like aprons and masks. Wear all of it. So yes. So and then another thing I wrote was like ensure privacy. So like if you get her to a squad, that's great. Make sure that like windows are covered. She's still in her house. Make sure like doors are closed. Just make sure like she can still have some of the decision making too, like who's in the room and who's not, if they're not causing a problem for you. And then obviously request ALS because you're gonna need it. So, and then you're gonna kind of prep for the delivery, get some vitals, administer oxygen, and then you probably want to do that with a non-rebreather. Giving birth is very tiresome, so any assistance really helps. And then how do we want to position the mom?
like feet and legs up.
Yeah, like knees
Hips
bent.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hips
yeah,
are like
yeah.
slightly elevated. Yeah, and then you kind of want to put a towel. You want to put a towel underneath her. Some I know in the hospital they have like bags that you can kind of like wipe away any fluid or like fecal matter, so that like it's not in the way of baby. So your kid might have one of those, if not towels for sure. And drape it over her as well. Yep. So hips slightly elevated. You have your OB kit. It'll have a bunch of more stuff, like more towels. Usually it has a bag for the placenta, and we'll talk about that later. And it has more towels, like 2 towels for baby, one to catch and dry off, and then one to like swaddle it. And they always have hats too, just because like the baby can lose a lot of its like body temperature through its head. And then there's clamps, either like scissors or a scalpel, suction bulb, which we don't suction now unless the baby's flaccid. So something to note. So you have that all prepared, and now you're just waiting for baby to be delivered, so you're just going to coach mom, have her breathe, like doing her breathing techniques and stuff like that, until baby is delivered. So like, head first, what are you going to do? The head is out. We'll go over it in partners, like visually.
So the head's already out, so you want to assist the cord in there?
Yeah, make sure there's no cord. What if there is?
So you wanna
Grab
gently
some
loosen
slack.
it?
Yeah.
And pull it over.
Work it around. What if it's so tight you can't?
Cut it.
Good. All right, and then you're gonna kind of want to work the shoulders, like one shoulder out first, then the next. Usually the child's like head will turn either one way or another.
Yeah, when it turn kind of, does it happen by itself or is it something
Kinda,
that
yeah.
you assist?
You might need to help with the
one side or
shoulders.
the other?
Yeah, it's pretty natural. But yeah, usually the baby's head will come out like facing down, face up. We just went over. Is really difficult for a full-term baby to happen, so they say rapid transport for that because they can't turn appropriately and get out. But with a premature baby, it might be possible. But so if it's sunny side up or looking up, that's an issue. It's harder for mom to push too because it's like a bigger surface area. So yeah. All right. So heads out. Have mom stop pushing, and then like once you've assessed for the umbilical cord, have her push again on her next contraction. The whole baby will come out because it's super slippery and it's pretty easy after the head. So make sure you catch it. Yeah, they're apparently really slippery. And then kind of keep it at the same
Do you
level.
grab it with the towel or do you just have gloves on?
Yeah, towel.
Okay.
So that you can like dry it off. Yeah.
So you don't slip.
Yeah, and then keep it at the same level as the vagina until it's clamped, the umbilical cord. And then how are we gonna clamp the umbilical cord? Like what?
Like 3 or 4 fingers?
Yeah, like 4 fingers.
See, that's what they told me,
Maybe
but
do it.
like the paramedics at the fire department I work at, they thought that it was like 7 to 10 inches or something.
It's actually it's not
Or
a bad
7
problem.
and 10 or something, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's like 4,
You
but
know what I'm
it's
talking about?
not
No,
bad.
it's 2 to 4 inches.
Okay,
Clamp,
yeah,
clamp. So just grab,
Yeah.
clamp, grab, clamp. Or
okay.
Yep, and then like let's say that you do overestimate, like that's not a bad problem to have because like what if the baby needs an IV? They can
That's
go
what
through.
they said.
Yeah, and I mean if they're gonna be delivered out in the field, they're gonna need probably a little bit extra care.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing to do that. So good. So baby's clamped now. You can actually take it away. Note the time in which the baby was born. That is very important. And then you want to do your APGARs when?
1 to 5 minutes after.
1 and 5.
1 and 5.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll go over that. I'll give you like a scenario, and we'll give the baby scores. All right. And then only suction if the baby's flaccid, and you do mouth then nose. Right? Yes. Okay. Good. And then placenta will come after. You never want to pull on it. That can leave pieces of the placenta behind, or you could do a lot of damage to the uterus. So let it just come out on its own. And then you have to keep everything in a bag because doctors want to look at it to make sure it isn't ripped or anything, to make sure it is fully intact. Because if it isn't, they're gonna have to go back in, and that can cause some serious problems. So yeah, there'll be a bag for you to like tie it up in and everything. Take with you to the hospital. You're gonna want to massage the fundus. Have you guys gone over that?
No.
Okay, so it helps with the uterus kind of getting back to its normal size after birth. So the fundus is like the top of the uterus, so you kind of want to like use a fist and kind of like work it and really explain to mom before you do that what you're doing because apparently it's very painful.
What's
So-
the fundus? The actual like.
It's like,
It's like
this is
right
the uterus when it's like post-birth, it's like pretty big, it's the top.
Okay.
So yeah, and that'll help it contract back down. And then another thing, if baby's fine, you've done both your APGARs and it's improved, like if it goes from like 4 to 8, that's good, baby's improving, you can give the baby to mom and she can like try to breastfeed or just skin to skin contact. And then keep reassessing, keep taking vitals, rapid transport. You might need to place like a new towel or pad if she's still bleeding, which can be normal, like if she tears or something. And get to the hospital. All right. So I kind of made like critical fails for this. No BSI or not enough. Pulling on baby or placenta is a big no-no.
Okay.
Yep. I put no suctioning, but now it's a little different, so don't worry about that one. Not appropriately drying or warming baby. So there's 2 towels for a reason. You got to dry with one and then use a new one. You don't want to leave baby and it's like fluids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then no like reassessment of mom or baby. So do you want to go over emergencies first and then kind of work in partners, or do you just want to like do the skill and then go over emergencies?
What do you think?
We can just go over emergencies real
That's
fast.
fine, yeah.
Great, cool. So what's the difference between abruptio placenta and placenta previa? Yeah, and then what color is the blood? Yep.
Dark,
dark.
abruptio.
Yes. Yep. That's the painful one. It'll feel like a tearing because it's separating from the uterus, the placenta. And then the previa is usually painless because it's like the placenta's over the cervix, which it shouldn't be, and that causes some bleeding. Either of those, rapid transport. What's the difference between preeclampsia and eclampsia?
Eclampsia is when you have seizures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, so like let's say you have a mom who's pre-eclamptic and like let's say her blood pressure is pretty high, like 180 over 100.
Mhm.
How are you going to transport? It's an emergency, but what are you going to try to avoid?
Terrifying.
Yeah, no lights or sirens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep her anxiety down. And then if she has a seizure, the like definitive treatment is delivery, but you're not going to be able to do that if she's having a seizure. So put her on her left side because it releases the like vena cava, and it also like if she's having a seizure, treat appropriately, like manage airway, and get going. All right. Let's say the baby comes out feet first. Can you deliver?
No.
Yes.
Oh wait, you can?
Both feet
Okay.
because it's breech. Another breech presentation is like the buttocks first, like
No.
bent. You can deliver that too.
Okay.
It might get stuck, and if it does, what do you have to do?
Transport rapidly.
Yeah, you have to do one more thing.
Airway for the baby.
Yeah, you gotta like put your fingers in and create that airway.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then let's say a hand comes out, just one hand. Can you deliver that?
No.
Okay. Let's say the umbilical cord comes out first. No. But then that's the one you want to like wrap up in like or like cover it with a moist towel and stuff, so it keeps like functioning and pulsating. All right. Supine hypotensive syndrome. How are you gonna position mom? That's not on there.
On our side,
Yes. Which side?
left.
Good job. And then unruptured amniotic sac. So baby comes out fully intact with the sac
Pop to side.
away from their head. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it in their face. And then nuchal cord we went over. What to do if it's like both loose and tight. So you want to come up in partners, we can go over this.
Okay. No time at present.
And during this, we'll go over APGAR as well as like the AHA pyramid. All right, so this is your patient. She's 27, she's 38 weeks along, and this is her second kid. What are you gonna do?
PSA.
Good job.
And all the stuff that we need.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna have your OB kit. Let's say that you've got her into the squad. So,
Check for physical signs of water or drowning.
okay, so what do you wanna do before that? Your squad has
Ask.
windows.
Oh, cover the window.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, good. Yeah, you can ask questions and you can do a physical assessment too. Just make sure that you tell her what you're doing first. Good, so you're looking for the water being broken. What else are you looking for? Yes, good. Or like the bulging too. All right. Yep, she says her contractions are a minute apart and they last for 30 seconds.
Ready.
Ready.
Check
Yep, and she's-
dilation.
You
Not
can't
yet?
really check that.
Oh.
You can't, because that's more,
You don't
that's an
have a ruler.
invasive.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
the
doctor's. But she's not going to be crowning or like feeling the urge to push necessarily if she isn't fully dilated.
Okay,
So
alright.
yeah, that's more of like a doctor.
Feeling the urge to push?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and she said this is just like her first birth. So get ready. All right, so I'll just kind of push the child out as we go along. So what do you want to do as she's pushing? Like, what do you want to tell her?
And squeeze and.
Like, breathe.
Oh, breathe.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The.
Yeah,
the
and, yeah.
You can
Squeeze.
flat
I don't know.
Yep, and then just kind of be encouraging.
Pause.
You're doing good. You're doing great.
Keep
Ugh.
breathing. Keep breathing. You're doing fine.
Good.
Keep
All
breathing.
right, so now what are you gonna do?
Is this for the quarter round?
This is not-
Yep, and then have her stop pushing.
Okay,
stop pushing.
Okay, good. All right, so there's no cord.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and so you would have like another towel too.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep.
Turn it.
It'll kind of turn naturally too, but you kind of want to like kind of guide it down
At this
and
stage,
then up.
it's the baby kind of coming out on its own.
Yep. So baby comes out with next contraction. There we go. All right, where do you want to
Okay. I guess I'm
go
Keep it
from
lower.
here?
Lower. Keep it
Lower.
lower. Keep it
Yes.
lower. Vagina gap.
Yep. All right. So what do you want to
Do you
do?
wanna cut the cord?
I want to go first or no?
Cut the cord.
Section?
Cut the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah. We grab the.
2 to 4.
Do we actually put them on? Or
yeah.
2 to 4 inches clamp.
Go ahead.
And what are
I
you
got
doing
that.
at the same time?
Check. Asking the mother how she's doing. Checking the baby for
Time of birth.
time of birth.
Yeah. Yeah.
7:42.
Perfect.
7:43.
Are they supposed
They
to?
should clip. If not, that's
Okay.
fine. Good.
Perfect.
Yep, and then they'll either have scissors or a scalpel in there too. All right, so clamp, we'll just do this. You can use that towel, that's fine. So you would dry, good, and then you would get what?
A new towel.
Good job.
So this is the new towel.
All right, so let's say mom doesn't have any contractions yet and it's been a minute, so let's do an APGAR score. I'm gonna give you a bunch of criteria and anyone can help with that.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay. You would kind of like keep it fully wrapped too.
Like
Yep.
like a burrito.
Yes.
Oh.
I've
All right, so it's been a
I was just
minute.
gonna sit down.
The baby isn't active. What does that get?
0.
Okay. Has a pulse of 102. 1
Or, yeah.
or 2. I'm sorry.
2.
Yep, 2 points. Minimal response to stimulation.
What was that?
Minimal response to stimulation.
1.
Blue arms and legs.
1.
Okay. Slow respirations.
1.
All right. So what does that add up to?
2, 1, 1.
Ask the math teacher.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? 2 1, 2 and 4 ones.
6.
2 and
Was it
3
6?
ones.
2 and 3 ones. So
Five.
5.
1 got a 0. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it has a 5 right now. That's fine. Its pulse is still over 100, so you don't have to do the pyramid. So have you guys gone over the AHA pyramid? Yes? Okay. Yep, so if the pulse was like 80, what would you do? You've already dried it, you've already warmed it, and like stimulated it.
Compress.
Yep, low by oxygen. Or that's actually if it's like cyanotic, and then if its heart rate is around 80 to like less than 100 but over 60, then you do positive pressure ventilation, and then at any time if it drops below 60 beats a minute, you do CPR.
Okay.
This baby's pulse is 102, so that's okay. All right, so mom is now having another contraction, and out comes the placenta. Maybe.
Gloves on.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Hopefully. I'm not
All right,
supposed to pull on it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, sorry, it just. All right, so what are you doing with that?
Grill that
Bring it.
up.
No.
I'm kidding.
Keep it in the bag.
Keep it in the bag.
Good
for
job.
the
Yep.
doctors.
Good.
I learned
Bring.
from Jake, because apparently he wouldn't eat it.
Ooh. No, yep.
Wow.
All right, so it's been, let's say, 5 minutes now. So we want another AFGAR.
Do another AFGAR.
Okay. So now the baby has flexed arms and legs.
So 2. Or
1 point.
One
Yep.
point.
I'm not looking.
Has a pulse of 120.
2 points.
Good job. Promptly responds to stimulation.
Touch me 2 points.
Is completely pink
2 points.
and has a loud cry.
2 points.
Good. So what's the score? Yep. So is this
I kept
baby
track that time.
doing okay?
Yes.
Good job. So
My mom's holding it, but I don't know.
that's fine. You'd still be assessing the baby at this time, but there's been an improvement in the APGAR, which is good. So can we give the baby to mom to hold?
Yes.
Good. And then placenta's been delivered. You can give baby to mom, have her try to breastfeed, and then also what else are we doing? Somebody has to do one more thing.
Push down on
The fundus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of have to. You have to like really press.
Man, I'm
I
gonna push down on your fundus. This is called.
Yeah.
She's
gonna yell at you.
Man, I'm gonna push down
Yeah,
your
my
fundus.
friends actually punched the doctor
Because he did
tell
this.
her.
Yeah. A lot
He
of
just
people.
did it, and she punched him. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's very important. Like anything you're doing in this process, you have to explain it. But this, especially, apparently, is really painful. All right, and then reassess. Both mom and baby are stable. So how often are you reassessing?
5 minutes. 10 minutes.
15.
Technically 15,
Yeah.
but Todd was like, "Oh, you assess it the whole time." So
The book answers every 15.
Yeah.
It's the same as, but you will be looking at that. video.
So it's the same as like it's just
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
book though it's traditional. It's like the same if you were like doing a medical
Yeah,
patient.
stable
Yeah.
patient is a stable
They're
patient.
both
is a stable
fine.
I'll be
patient.
on my ambulance clinic.
good job.
Stable under 5.
Great. All right. I have a couple more quiz questions for you guys, and then we'll like end the lecture.